Our last speaker is Dahai Yue, who's representing the Department of Health Policy and Management, and the title of his presentation will be Preparedness, Planning, and Adaptation, and Adaptation Capacity Strengthening for Climate Change.
Before I begin, I would like to sincerely thank Breslow Student Fellowship Fund, Dr. Molina, and our judges for providing this amazing opportunity for students, including myself, to think critically about priorities for addressing the public health effects of climate change. When we talk about climate change, we often think about glaciers melting, sea levels rising, and our coastlines flooding. Just this past Christmas Eve, New York City temperatures matched those of the 4th of July. Although the effects of this phenomena might not be evident to everybody, and many don't even believe that the problem exists, my personal experience has convinced me otherwise. Climate change is influencing us right now. I grew up in a small village in Shandong province, not far from Beijing. Ours was a farming community. In 2010, we experienced a drought for which we were unprepared. Crops died, and my family and our neighbors were economically impacted to a severe degree. To make matters worse, at that same time, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. The medical expenditure was very difficult for my family during this lean time. After her surgery, we had to bring my mother back to our home, where the heat wave was extreme. We could not afford air conditioning. Her doctors told us that sweating could cause infection in my mother's incisions, and sadly, this proved to be true. We could not keep my mother sufficiently cool, and she did suffer from painful infections. As I observed these events, it became so clear to me how climate change cannot and must not be just a political debate about reducing emissions of greenhouse gases or closing factories. In my view, the priority right now is to focus on community-based preparedness planning and to strengthen the capacities for individuals in those communities to adapt to climate change. First, I propose building an information system to identify those communities most vulnerable to public health-related consequences of climate change and evaluate their capacities to manage these effects. Second, once identified, we could apply a system similar to the whole of society mechanism used by the WHO to prepare for influenza pandemics. This would involve establishing inter-sector steering committees at both national and local levels to coordinate plans for a variety of adverse climate conditions and consequences. Business and civil organizations, including corporations, hospitals, and fire departments, could also establish their own teams responsible for coordination during extreme weather events. Furthermore, public health agencies could lead the whole of society efforts among sectors by providing technical support and periodic training. Lastly, in order to fundamentally minimize the severe influence of climate change on the public's health in the future, we need more research to find new environmentally friendly energy, to accurately monitor and predict changes in climate, to find ways to reconcile conflicts of interest among nations, and to encourage effective social policy collaboration. I truly believe that some sort of preparedness system would have helped my small village during that devastating drought, and perhaps even improved my mother's quality of life. during her final days. Thank you.